I hate myself sometimes. Oh, that's not recording. Good afternoon or good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. So today we're going to finish up our kind of consolidation of this quadratic review. We're looking at example 3. In example 3, again, one more time, you read it from your package. It says y equals 2x squared plus 5x minus 1. And it says for part A, it says, please complete the square. That's what we get. So we already did this video. Please look at one of the other videos that I posted. The classmates actually helped with part B. It said actually use the quadratic formula to find the roots. And that's what we got. Thank you so much to our classmate. The first root is negative 5 plus root 33 over 4. And the second one is negative 5 minus root 33 over 4. Again, those are the two exact answers. Nicely done. For part C, it says now determine the rules of transformations and describe the transformation. So this is a little tough. And what you're going to do is you're going to look at the vertex form of this question. So the transformations. Now what does this really mean? From y equals x squared, and notice why we're using y equals x squared. Y equals x squared is the parent or base function. Just a really quick slide to this. If we were to do a table of values for y equals x squared, you would get those values, and the parabola would look something like this. And again, notice what I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen. I am actually sketching, just so everyone can see it. Notice a couple of features that a lot of students will tell me about this base parabola. Number one, we pretend 0, 0 is the vertex. Number two, this parabola opens up. And number three, it looks normal. And I put that in quotes because by definition, there's nothing else to compare. It's a standard or parent function, right? That's what we're looking at. So in the context of what we're doing for this question, we're looking at this, and we're going to describe what's happening. And again, some of you may or may not remember, so I'm going to write down the notes here just to help everyone out. A tells us about shape, sorry, orientation and shape. I'll use the H and K format if that's okay. If you see it as written as x minus h, this means a horizontal shift right h units. If you see it like this, x plus h, it's a horizontal shift left h units. And finally, we see a plus k or minus k. These are both vertical shifts. In this case, plus k up, or minus k down. So the only hard part is the a value. But back to this question here, let's erase this d here. Fix that in here. Some of you actually remember this, maybe you were taught this with the transformation. You were supposed to just able to describe it. And so we look at this, the a is 2, the h is negative 5/4, and the k is negative 33/8. So let me just give you the answer first, and then we'll talk about it hopefully in the class. To describe the transformations, you always go stretches first, then shifts second. So even though some of you, when you were taught this, they might have taught you the shifts first because they tend to be easier to understand, shifting up and down or shifting left and right. Then they did the stretches. But in order to describe this, there's actually a particular pattern. So let me just give you the answer for this. Starting from y equals x squared, there's going to be a vertical stretch by a factor of 2. Colloquially, I'll explain this in green, colloquially, so it's easier for a lot of you. It's going to get narrower. Okay, it's going to be skinny or narrow. Moving on now to the h value. It doesn't really matter, but I tend to read from left to right. There's going to be a horizontal, horizontal, it's okay if I just short form horizontal shift. Really it's a translation, but translation too many letters. Horizontal shift left 5/4 units. And the reason why again is because in this case it is x plus something, so it's left. And finally we have a vertical shift. Not always, a vertical shift. In this case, it's a negative, so it's going to go down negative 33.8 units. The sequence of events that you would see, watch carefully. I apologize for my drawings. These are just sketches. For some students that need to visualize this. This is y equals x squared. And for some of you, this is actually how animation is done. Some of you actually like this because you actually use technology called Snapchat, Instagram, use filters, make mirrored images. This is actually what you're doing. This is hopefully what they explain to you. So we do the vertical stretch first. And again, it's just an exaggeration. So this is going to be the first step. And I apologize, it's going to get messy now. It's going to go left 5 1/4 units. That's really 1 1/4. It's really hard to draw that. So we'll just put a 2 here so people can see. We'll put a 1 for the green over here. So we can see it. So we're going to take that green one and we're going to move it over like so. So these two should be congruent. It's a little messy, so I'm just going to reproduce it over here if that's okay, so people can see it. It's a little bit skinnier. And then now for step 3, in blue, it's supposed to shift down negative 33.8 units, which I think is like negative 4 1/3. So negative 4, so whatever negative 4 is. So then it's going to be this yellow one, it's going to go all the way down, the vertex there. And that's, oops, it's supposed to be the same. And this is called describing the transformation. That's why vertex form is so much more powerful. It tells you what's happening. Unfortunately, with this example here, these numbers were not nice. You guys remember doing this kind of stuff? The transformations? Have you not been taught this? You should have, because it's one of the foundations. Some of you just know how to graph though. And that's why these actually mean something. So one more time, orientation. When A is greater than 0, no change. When A is less than 0, a reflection across x-axis. Some of you already know that as opening down. And then shape. When A is, and I'm running out of room, so for some reason. When A is greater than 1, it's a vertical stretch. When A is in between 1 and 0, it's a vertical compression. Hopefully you guys remember that. And again, if you're watching this at home, feel free to zoom in, pinch in, and just contact me if you need some extra help.